Welcome back to another episode of Candid Conversations. I want to introduce to you my lovely guest, Sarah Edwards. She has been worship leading for the last 16 years on a global platform and is just a phenomenal singer and songwriter. And she has been so kind to meet with us and share with us a little bit about her story concerning beauty, body image, loving herself, and overcoming an eating disorder. So I hope you'll stay tuned. This is really exciting. How about you share a little bit with us about, just growing up as a young woman in the context that you were, and kind of give us a little bit background.
I was privileged to grow up in a Christian home and really knew about Jesus all my life and had a strong foundation of talking to God and knowing that He was there and knowing that He was real. So that has been a huge gift to me. When I was 14, 15, I developed anorexia, and pretty intense. But I say, I had this strong foundation of talking to God. It was so clothed in confusion, my eating disorder, that I didn't even really know I had it for a little bit. My heart was tied in a knot, and I had pain, but I was like, I knew eating disorders were wrong. So I didn't have an eating disorder. But I was doing really weird things with food, and I was exercising too much, and I was losing weight, and I didn't like my body. But I didn't have an eating disorder.
But in your head, you're like,
yeah,
I don't have one.
Yeah. But I did have one. And it took kind of hitting rock bottom to go, oh my goodness. I was in denial for a good 6 months.
Wow.
And about age 15, I was like a little below 80 pounds.
Wow.
And I knew there was a point where I knew I was out of control. I was like, okay, I have a problem.
Yeah. Did you have thoughts in your head like, if only I was this, then I would be prettier. If only I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And most of them were more subtle than loud.
Okay.
I didn't like my body. And even at a young age, I would compare to like the magazines and, the ads and stuff like that. And I wanted to be healthy. That was the initial pursuit. And I had self-hatred. So you kind of mix that in.
Yeah.
That doesn't help. A drive for perfection.
Yeah.
And a little bit of like, I want beauty to look like one thing. And so I'm going after that.
And what was that beauty, what was that image of beauty being fueled by? Was it the movies and the magazines, or was it actually more subtle, like just what you were seeing around you of like the majority of what women look like?
Yeah.
Or,
That's kind of a layered answer. For sure, media. More than even I would want to acknowledge. My own idea, comparing to the pretty girl in youth group, the pretty girl in the store, and then honestly, a huge thing that's been a big root that I have been ferocious to dig up was fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of failure, fear of not being perfect, fear of doing life wrong, fear of pain, fear of not, like, just any emotional traffic. That would be one of the quickest ways to grab hold to security.
Interesting.
And so just fear of losing control of life.
Wow.
I hit kind of rock bottom at 15, and it became really obvious to my parents.
80 pounds.
80 pounds.
Wow.
And they intervened, and that was a really intense year. Let's get my weight up. Let's get me out of danger zone. And I did get out of danger zone, and that was helpful for sure to have my body in a place where it should be. But once my weight went back up, my heart and my mind were still going.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh, I love my body now, and I know how to eat, and I know how to exercise. I was like, I'm so confused. How do you do life? And my mind was consumed with thoughts of calories.
Wow.
And I wanted to turn it off. I was like, I don't like it anymore. But I can't not think about it. I could have told you 5 different brands of milk, and all skim milk, and one had 80 calories and one had 90 calories.
Wow.
And I knew 8 ounces, 4 ounces, 2 ounces, and
so everything was so measured. Like you were constantly measuring what you were eating, what you're intaking, how you exercise probably.
Yes.
Wow.
And the head traffic was overwhelming. And so now my weight's up, but I don't feel healthy.
Yeah.
I feel better than I felt, but I feel pain, and I'm like, I want more. And I'd observe other people, and they don't seem to be as preoccupied with food and body and exercise as me. And there's good and bad of observing others.
Yeah.
But there was a helpful thing of going, life's more to you than this. I want more. But then I'm scared to let go. But I want more. So, for me, I really wanted and thought for a little while that you kind of have that 1 or 2 moments of breakthrough. And where it's lifted off. And the Lord does that for some people. And I know stories. And I love those stories. But I have found him in the journey.
Yeah.
And I have found him in the progression, and I have fallen in love with him in the journey. I bucked it for a bit. I did not like it initially, but I have found him. I could give you, oh my goodness, like I really could give you 20 to 30 moments of breakthroughs in my heart where little parts of truth came in and the lies were broken off, and I made a choice. And I remember one point going, God, I will be okay with being a higher weight than what I really wanted, a bigger size, if my mind will have peace. And not that we have to make these deals with God, but something in my heart to go, you know what, I'm willing to let go of pursuing this if I get this.
Yeah.
Where I was for a while, no, I refused.
Yeah.
I will not let go of the pursuit of this size, this weight, this look. I need that. And
even though your outside circumstances, you were eating better, you were
maybe,
I don't know, just taking care of yourself better.
Yes.
Still the internal, you were not letting go of that. I want this ideal size.
Yes.
And that was obviously causing you so much torment.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And a little bit more embarrassing because now I have a kind of a testimony behind me. Sarah had anorexia and now she's recovered. But I'm like, I do not have answers. You know, I have the weight back on. I have a few answers, but I have a lot more questions. So when I started to become okay with the journey, it was less scandalous that I had to keep coming back to the Lord. You know, okay, I have had 3 good months and then a really bad week, or bad is so, you know, but a rough week, where suddenly the thoughts are back and I feel self-hatred and it's strong, and you feel like, what were those last 3 months anyways? And the accuser comes in and he's like, you didn't even gain any ground, and you're like, I didn't even gain it. When I started to go, no, it's a progression, it's a journey, and I'm being transformed. I was less freaked out by the ebbs and the flows, and actually able to go, I am growing. I am not the same as I was, and more confident to come to the Lord. I had a little shift where I started to not despise any moment of breakthrough. And because there's a part you're like, well, that's good, God, thanks for that little, think a little differently now, that's helpful, but I have so much more. And I found gratitude has been crucial to my growth. And in the, you know, the longing to be like, I want to be completely whole as I can be, but not being grateful for the little parts has been so detrimental to my actually growing. And so some days when I'm feeling the fog and I'm feeling like, oh, it's a hard day, it could be beauty stuff, it could be even just like I'm feeling extra impatient. I thought I was doing so much better at this, and now I'm like, I can barely handle 5 minutes of waiting. What has happened to me? I love to just like press pause and reflect on the breakthroughs and the moments where Jesus has encountered me. So I guess I'll share a few. So my parents intervening, but honestly that took like several conversations before I went,
we're okay with
I
it.
really know I have a problem. So that was a little come to Jesus moment, because I really did have a relationship with the Lord, and he did not feel close, but I didn't know why, and I didn't know what to do. So I kind of prayed, but again, I didn't even know what to talk to God about. God, help take this away. I'm sorry,
but I'm not, because I want to look like this.
Totally. Like, I'm scared to know what you're gonna say. And I didn't really know how to have real talks with God, which is even a huge gift that I've discovered in my journey of growing, how to talk real to God. Sometimes you're like, okay, I'm ready to talk real. I don't know what to say. Hi, I'm having a hard time. We'll take this away. Some moments, that one time where I said, Lord, I give up this size, I give up this weight, and gulp, here we go. What do you want to do? Another thing, I remember one moment so clear. It sounds like so hilarious now, but for me it was a light bulb. This is like pre-smartphone days, when you'd go to like an appointment and you'd read the magazines in the waiting room, right? I was like, I would leave those appointments and just the traffic would increase like a ton. And I'm like, well, why? I wasn't in a bad mood before, and now I'm like
Yeah.
hating my body, and I'm grumpy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and it was the Holy Spirit. But
Ding,
it-
ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And just think now with social media, Instagram, and at the
So
touch of
much
your
stronger.
fingers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's intense. But for you to go, wait, hold on, a magazine?
Yes.
You know, at a doctor's office?
Yes.
It's not like you're at home reading
No,
those.
no.
Okay, anyways.
And I'm
go
just
on.
passing, honestly, I was initially just passing time. I wasn't even like going in and going, like, oh, I want to pursue something different in my body. I was just like bored,
Uh-huh.
leaving, and
Yeah.
I'm like, Urgh. And I just felt the Holy Spirit be like, yeah, that's not helping you at all. And I was like, So I'm like, okay, aggressive. No magazine. So for a little bit, did none of that, just to kind of like guard my eyes. And it really helped.
Yeah.
And I mean, that has opened up in my journey. There's been several little areas for me personally. I think for other people it can be different. But things that will heighten my traffic, heighten my my struggle. And that was definitely one of them. Magazines, sometimes movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes, depending on the pursuit of where my heart is, pursuing different health fads, you know. One thing that's been really crucial for me is not pursuing beauty and health and fitness out of fear and anxiety.
And
So-
what is the fear and anxiety? Like, just pinpoint that really.
Uh,
For you, obviously,
yeah.
it's going to be different for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Like, what drives you, but...
Sometimes it's clear and sometimes it's not. Well, sometimes I'm more honest with myself and sometimes less.
yeah.
Fear of being unhealthy. Fear of being overweight. Fear of, it could be just honestly a fear unrelated to my body and unrelated to health. It could be a fear of finances. Like, I've actually found that unhealthy state, the unhealthy pursuit of food and exercise and beauty, it's about that and it's not about that. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
it's right to target, hey, don't look at those magazines. Hey, watch what kind of exercises you're doing. Hey, don't jump on food fads, all food fads.
Yeah.
Hey, be careful what you say to yourself, you know. Sometimes, though, it's like, pause, what's really going on? Are you freaked out about a test coming up? Are you freaked out about a conversation you had with someone and you just aren't even addressing that?
Totally.
Like, pause,
Yeah, that's
address that.
really good.
And sometimes when I address that, I'm like, wow, whoa, it's just,
It changes it,
it
right?
changes it.
So, like, the urge is gone to
Yeah.
go over-exercise and under-eat.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, wow, I have peace in the area of my finances or in my relationship with my husband or my boyfriend or whatever.
A big part of my journey, too, has been me asking the Lord questions, the Lord asking me questions, and those answers getting to the heart. So sometimes I'll ask the Lord, like, why am I doing this today? Why am I anxious? I don't know why. Or I'll feel the Lord say, like, why are you anxious? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, let's talk about it. Or what do you want? I have felt that. Sarah, what do you want? What will help you? And that question is more annoying. You're like, I want you to take it away. And he's like, no. What tool do you want? Do you want joy? Do you want peace? What answers do you want? Do you want ideas into how to dress your body? You're like, no, change my body.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to know what kind of colors look good on you? What kind of makeup products will work well for your skin? How to get rid of your acne? Like, real questions to ask. But you gotta, like, wrestle and go, oh, well, yeah, Lord.
Because he cares.
He cares.
I guess that's the point behind it all, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not all on Sarah
No.
or all on Christina to
No.
figure out my beauty.
Yeah. Like, I had a couple years of horrible acne breakout. And I honed in specifically, Lord, I need insight. Why is this happening? And I didn't get answers fast. But it's interesting because that was really dear to my heart for a while.
Yeah. It sounds trivial, but
Right.
it's not.
No, and I found the Lord in it. And, like, it was cool. And when I would, like, start seeing clear up, I'm like, Jesus, it's working, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I know he won my heart in that. And then I'm like, okay, God, let's talk about some bigger things.
That's awesome.
But questions, the Lord asking me questions, me asking him questions, being specific, not being broad, not just being like, just take it away, God. Make it better. No, like really getting down to the heart and valuing the heart.
And this is where the little breakthroughs came, was actually in talking to him about
Yes.
it. It wasn't in all of a sudden you were in like some worship service and
No.
you got smacked on the floor and all of a sudden you're delivered of it. It literally
for
was
me.
you pressing into him.
Yes.
And having to ask him those things that sound stupid.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
Right? Because it
Yes.
sounds like something you'd ask like a blog, a style
Yes.
blog, or
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I still work these muscles all the time, but this has become normal for me. Like, so sometimes it's like, let's say I know a busy day is coming, or I'm like in hindsight going, oh man, today's got some challenges. Like, beginning of the day, I'm like, I commit my body to you, I commit my emotions to you, I commit this day to you, and I'm like, all right, God, here we go. Give me insight. And even just committing is like, I'm going to do it your way. So I'm going to pursue health and beauty and my heart. Who needs you? I'm acknowledging I need you all day. And I'm not going to do those funny things. I don't want to do those funny things. Let's just say that. Or when I get stressed and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I want to be like running to you. So I like do that so many times. I'm like, here we go, God. I commit this day to you. I'm yours. Now help me through it. You know, give me those insights. And I have found him so many times through that. You know, like, today seems challenging because of whatever. You know, I'll be specific. And often I get little Holy Spirit whispers that are like very helpful.